All right, so welcome to another rapid fire business story of the week. This is part of our rapid fire series, and today we have an incredible guest with us, someone who's achieved extraordinary success and is here to share their unique business journey with you. We're excited to hear their insights, so let's welcome them to the show. All right, so as this is our rapid fire series, we've got 1 minute or less to answer each question. So in a minute or less, give us the elevator pitch to your story and your life. Go.
My name is Joseph Hass, and I'm a communication specialist because the quality of our life is the quality of our communication, and I teach people how to communicate with themselves better and with others to get the results that they want and help others get the result that they want. And because of my background, I was chucked all around the world. I had to develop this skill, and it wasn't always that way. And through time, I developed this skill that I now help people develop as well to achieve the results that they want.
So that's fascinating, and I would love to dig a little bit deeper. So tell us a bit more about what you're working on today that you're most passionate about and believe will have the biggest impact.
Right now, I'm working with people one-on-one so they can communicate better at work, handle conflict, and when there is a situation that arises, they can express themselves in the best way. They can use their voice, they can use their body, because the real communication is the sub-communication. It's not really the words that we say, because the words are only 60%, the words are only 7%. The tonality is 33% and the body is 60%. So we've got to watch the sub-communication. If I go, hello, it's great to be here, it's completely different than hello, it's great to be here. Same words are used, except the body language and the tonality give different meaning. And you can test this when you're at a restaurant and the waiter comes and says, how's the food? Say, it's pretty crappy, thank you very much. And they'll smile and say, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And now I'm moving from one-on-one to speaking and training. This is my next stage.
So this next question is one that every entrepreneur has dealt with. Tell us about a time where you failed. We often say failure is the first step to success. So think about a time where you failed in the past. What happened? What did you learn from it?
Failure is the key to success. Without failure, there is no success. And I always say, fail forward fast. The more you fail, the quicker you are going to reach the end result that you're after. I have worked in multiple areas, and through martial arts training, we have to do the reps to get from where we are to where we want to be. And it took me, after I quit my job in satellite communication and established my coaching business, 4 years. It was 4 years of trial and error, seeking mentorship, getting help, doing the different things, and the rapid fire way of doing it is taking action. A lot of people just learn, and if you keep learning, you just accumulate information, and I was guilty of that. And then when I come to apply it, I have to learn it all over again. So now I learn what I need to implement, and I go out and implement it until I get there. And it took me 4 years, like I was saying, to get my coaching business off the ground. And I'll give 3 steps that we need to do it. We think about what we want, we go and obtain the tools that we need, and then we take massive action and keep repeating that action until we get the result that we want.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show to dive deeper into each of these questions. But for now, one thing that I often say is, and I tell this to my employees and the people who work with me and for me all the time, is that when a tree falls in the forest, if nobody hears it, did that tree actually fall? This brings me to this next question. How do you make sure that all of these amazing projects that you're involved in get noticed? What marketing and advertising methods have worked best for you? You've got a minute. Let's go.
The pressure's on. There's multiple ways. So I use social media. I use the network connections that I make to get the word out. And I also use referrals from existing clients once they have worked with me and they have got the benefit and the results. They say thank you. When they're on a high note, I tell them, you're very welcome. Can you please describe what I have done for you and what I helped you with? They tell me, and then I say, who would be the person that you can recommend me to, as in the type of person that I can help? And then that way I've got a testimonial that I can use, and at the same time they go and recommend me to people that are similar to them. And when somebody comes through a recommendation, it's like a done deal, because the trust is passed from them to the other person and they come and trust me. So that's how my main areas, and now I'm getting on podcasts and doing virtual and in-person speaking events, because I'm transitioning from working one-on-one to becoming a speaker.
That was so awesome. We're definitely going to dive deeper into this on a later show. And as we approach our last question, before we ask people how people can get a hold of you, how people can reach you, learn more about the work that you're doing in your company, and we will include all that information in the show notes, what I wanted to ask you is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to your younger self, to our audience, and to somebody, especially somebody who's just starting out in the same niche that you're in, but just doesn't know how to start or get going?
Start in baby steps. So a lot of people and a lot of marketing says, quit your job, quit what you're doing and jump out and the parachute will open. It doesn't open. You need to determine how much income you need per week. Once you've determined that, you create a side hustle in the business that you want to create, and you work on achieving that income consistently. And once you have that income consistently, then you quit your job and move on to the next step. So it's always baby step. And a lot of people say diversify. I recommend you focus on one thing. Diversification spreads you out too thin. The light will light the room, but the laser makes a hole in the wall because it's focused. So focused on one thing, establish it really well. Once that established, move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and the diversification happens by itself.
Amazing stuff. We're going to have to thank our guest today for being a guest on Business Story of the Week. And before we cut out on this episode, I wanted to ask you, how can people get a hold of you? How can people learn more about what you're doing? And how do people engage with you? And we will transcribe this and put it in the show notes for everybody to find.
Great question. To get in touch with me, you just need to go to askjosephhass.com, and that is Joseph with a PH, and Hass is HASS, same as the avocados. Askjosephhass.com, you'll find a connection to my Instagram, a connection to my Facebook, and mainly on Facebook I create videos. You can learn how to communicate better and be more effective so you can get what you want and help other people get what they want. And if you want to work one-on-one, you can also contact me and set a time there.